Welcome to the Road is Dead podcast. I'm your host, Rob Curtis, here in the studio with
Leah Sanda.
And joining us remotely, we have Mr.
It's Tim Strelecki.
And as a guest
Mcintyre
this week,
over in Rockford.
There we go. So Illinois does have more than one city. The other one's called Rockford.
Yeah.
That's my
and
story.
Edwardsville. I think that covers them all.
I think so. That or East St. Louis or something. Oh wait, Lincoln lives somewhere. Springfield, maybe? I don't know. Whatever.
Dude, I went to his house on my move out here. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Cool. Yeah, we stopped by there. We were on a drive back in 2007, and we're like, well, this has been a really uneventful drive so far. So we're only 5 hours from home. Let's stop at the Lincoln Homestead or whatever. And so it was pretty cool.
That'd be interesting.
I'm not a history buff, but it was kind of cool to.
I'm a bit. I don't want to say I'm necessarily a big history buff, but I find a lot of things about history interesting. And a couple things about. First of all, he wasn't born in Illinois. He was born in Kentucky and lived in Illinois for a big chunk of his life. The other one is because he's buried in Springfield. In that same cemetery, there is a large Civil War monument / memorial that they have, and they have Civil War soldiers buried in it in a big circle, and it's like concentric rings out, like 3 or 4 concentric rings out. And I have a great great uncle that is one of the gentlemen buried in that ring. And he fought in the Civil War, but he did not die in the Civil War. He died of a heart attack in his 50s, and was later interred in that cemetery as one of the veterans of the Civil War. I thought that was interesting. I'm sorry, don't mean to throw that to everybody.
I think that
but
covers
speaking
the
of
agenda.
Springfield, yeah. Speaking of Springfield, though, my son Andrew is on his way to Florida to participate in a college model. I don't really know. It's one of these like challenge kind of things. You know how like the solar car kind of things with different universities where the teams put together solar cars and they race against each other. This is one that has, it's in essence remote control aircraft, and they have to do something like pick up take a payload that's at least this many pounds and deliver it to this location, and they measure your fuel beforehand and after, and the one that does it the most efficient way, using completely made up designs. They can't like use any commercially available designs, and they have to have a certain envelope that the plane fits in, and it has to be at least this big and no bigger than this, and that kind of thing. But their competition is a national competition. It's down in Florida this week.
Right. So, March in Florida. Uh-huh.
I understand. I mean, to be honest with you, his mother and I got together during a march in Florida. So, I'm not too against it. I'd be hypocritical if I was.
Are you ready to be a grandfather?
Oh, his mother and I are together for many, probably a decade or more before we had a kid. So I'm not too worried about that. But, the Springfield connection, sorry, long way. He was driving through Springfield on the way when we were checking his location the other day. We're like, oh, he's in Springfield. That's kind of cool. I wonder if he stopped to check out any museums or anything.
Doubtful.
Sorry. Anyway, so Tim, what have you been up to since the injury? What's the injury watch looking like?
I'm out of my brace, which is good. I have good mobility. I'm probably almost to normal again. I got to work on some grip strength, but continuing with therapy. Everything's tracking well. I've been riding obviously indoors. Even though I got clearance to go outdoors, I'm still, I wouldn't say afraid to go outdoors because I'm not. It's just I'm comfortable with where I'm at right now, so I'm just riding indoors and just doing a bunch of running right now because I like it. It's fun and it's different. And I'm not that good at it, but I want to be good at it.
Riding indoors?
Yeah. Well, I'm not that good at that either, but I can do it.
Are you going to do some running races this year?
I have a 5K that is coming up on next Saturday. See how that goes. And other than that, I'm just kind of loose. Like I don't have anything scheduled. I don't have any cycling events scheduled. I don't have anything planned, and it actually feels good.
Speaking of 5Ks, I've got one in 2 days that I'm
Nice.
doing. I've been doing a lot of training to get up to speed with running.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Yeah, for those of you not watching, Rob is shaking his head.
I have not.
No.
I've run maybe twice in the last 2 months.
I mean, running is what you make of it. If you want to go fast, you got to go fast, but you got to be smart about it. You can't just like get off the sofa and be like, yeah, I'm going to go run 10 miles at, 7-minute mile pace, and then you're injured.
Yeah.
You got to be smart about it. Like
I'm just going to try to. I'm going to try to not be injured this weekend. But do you want to put our times against each other between this weekend and next weekend? Keep in mind, I gotta be wearing. You got to spot me some time because I got to be wearing a kilt while I'm doing mine.
No, because if I race Masters and cyclocross, we start at the same time. So I'm not spotting you anytime.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
wait, just to go on record, you're saying, Rob, that you're going to run slow because you are wearing a kilt.
no, not because. In addition to.
What? You're gonna wear a kilt?
Yeah, it's the whole East Dundee, downtown St. Patrick's Day hoopla blah kind of thing.
See, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I'm stuck at. Like, no matter what I'm doing, I'm there to compete. I'm not there to wear a damn costume.
I'll be honest. There's quite a few individuals that do show up to that. I've done that 5K before. And for me, it's just an opportunity to run in the spring. It kind of starts it for me. But there are quite a few that take it very seriously. And the guy that won last year set a stellar time. But Barron did it last year and actually got a really good time. And I think won his age group.
Nice.
The Shamrock Shuffles, people take it seriously, and the year ends at the Turkey Trot. I mean, that's the beginning and end of the 5K season.
I mean, that's what's cool about running too. It's kind of like gravel. You could you could race it at the front, or you could party at the back. And then everywhere in between.
I will come back to that gravel bit with some of the things that we're going to talk about later on.
Yeah, but like it took me almost 10 seasons of cyclocross to finally wear a stupid costume for the Campton race. So,
yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't necessarily a costume.
It was just a.
It was like my stuff, like my old BMX stuff.
Yeah. For the record, it was a Junior World Championship jersey, correct? And like
amateur World Championship jersey, some old like Fox leathers.
Yeah.
Gigantic,
huge helmet.
Didn't breathe.
So
fun.
That's Tim's definition of dressing up for it. So in a costume,
But,
all
but
stuff
my
that
point
he's
is, like,
raced in and won with.
My point is, like, I'm that dude. Like, I'm the dude that I got to do it seriously because I've trained for it, and it's kind of like getting old.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to break that mold. Like, I'm just stuck in it.
Well,
Because I'm going to invest time to do well in it. I'm not going to ruin all the work I put in by wearing a costume.
Here's a question for you then. Does this approach apply to most things in your life? And if so, what does your lawn look like usually?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. No, here it is. I never wanted to own a house just because it's a lot of maintenance. Like, it's a lot of work to be a homeowner, no doubt about it. Like renting an apartment, it's like, hey, I got a problem, come fix it. Boom, done. Now the responsibility falls on you. So Darcy and I made the commitment. We bought a house. We've owned it for like 7 or 8 years now. And my first thing when I got the house was like, I just want to have the best lawn in this entire neighborhood. Like, I want to come. I want people to lay down on my grass. And I went so hard at like having a good lawn. And it's a lot of work with aeration and seeding and treatments and like, but in a natural way. Like, I didn't pay a lawn company to come in and use any chemical. I did it all with like natural products and just lawn care in general. Like I'm the dude that's sitting out there at 6 a.m. watering the lawn with a hose. And I did that for like 2 years, 2.5 years, and my lawn was awesome. Now I'm just like, I don't give a shit.
Yep. Yep.
Plus, we had the community came in, the guys came in and did some work too. We all have like little electrical boxes on our lawn, on our properties.
In the
And they
easements,
came
yeah.
in, yeah, and they ran wires, and they don't give a shit about your grass
Yeah,
or
they
nothing. So
they trenched the
they're
hell out of
driving
it.
heavy equipment, and now my lawn is super bumpy and uneven, and it's every time I mow the lawn, the mower's bouncing all around. It's like I need monster truck tires for my mower, so it's really annoying. But yeah, I gave up on the quality lawn years ago, and just I take care of it, but I don't like bend over backwards for it or waste money on it.
Yep. No, I totally get that. And I kind of had a feeling that's where it's either feast or famine when it comes to that with the same kind of mentality. It's either all in or it's like, you know what, I do what I got to do just to maintain it, but then I'm moving on. And I will say, I went
Go
through
ahead.
the same thing as you
Yeah.
did when I got into mine. So from like '04 to like '09, it was, everything was lush green, you know. I always ran the edger every time I was
Yeah.
out there. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then
I don't have any, oh,
it
go
just
ahead.
it just got to the point where Leah can attest, because we used to run the shop out of the house. It got to
Mm.
the point where it was like, I'm a cyclist, I have no time for any of this. So I remember one point she went out and took a picture, and it was my neighbor's lawn. It was the edge of my neighbor's lawn and my lawn, and the neighbor's lawn was like this tall, and then mine was like this, like 2 to 3 times the height, sitting right next to
Yeah.
it. And so she
Yeah.
took a picture of it. That was one of my indications where it's like, okay, I'm pushing this a bit too far. So I started, for a long time, I started paying a company to spray, because Julie was really, didn't like all the weeds we had and everything else in there.
Hmm.
And then last year I just gave up on that. I was like, you know what? They don't even do that good of a job, and it costs a ton of money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I went back to spreading my own fertilizers and stuff, and it's looking a lot better, and I'm kind of getting
Yeah.
a little back into it.
Like I was jealous of that for a while, and then people that do get those chemical lawn treatments, in the early season, their lawn looks immaculate. But
Yeah,
then when summer's roasting and we've had no rain for 3 weeks,
everything's
their
dead.
lawn looks as shitty as mine,
Yeah,
and they pay for it.
yep. I
Yeah, which is
remember I was putting down fertilizers when I just moved in, and the first old guy that was living next door, I remember he came out and he goes, putting down fertilizer. I was like, yeah, and he goes, no point, just means you got to mow it more. And I was like, there's some very distinct wisdom in that. I gotta remember that for the future.
yeah.
So I try to
All
use
right,
a little
so
bit of that to guide me.
yeah, so we've talked about lawn care for about 7 minutes and 37 seconds now. So Patrick, your tennis racket string is fully legitimized in
Yeah,
the
I
2016.
we have no problem with the tennis racket bit, but
So if you
we
want to
were
speak
leading.
about it, speak about it.
Wait, so we were talking about your training. You're going good with
Oh,
that. I did want to mention really quickly, speaking of homes and everything else like that, you did change your background. We've got a little bit of I could
oh,
not
I just
tell
moved
for
to
a while
Chicago.
who that was in the poster in the background, but I believe that's
Oh
Lucinda
yeah.
Brand.
Yeah, yeah, that's Lucy B.
Is
Lucy
that new,
B.
or is that one of the older ones?
No, that's one from when she was at Trek. One of the last times she was at Trek. It's actually signed to Darcy, but I threw it up because Darcy's not going to want to stare at Lucinda Brand in her office, so I took it and put it here. But it's been up for a while. Yeah, I just figured I'd give.
That's
I got
very
like
nice.
I got a Major Taylor poster. I got some mountain bike stuff. I got a Silka waxing system that's been used once, collecting dust.
Once.
Yeah, I don't wax my chain. That shit's for guys like you, guys that care.
It's
I
so
That's what
got
they
easy to
say about
do.
guys with two wax crock pots, a
I,
race wax and then a regular wax.
I have
you're
I
all,
have
what do I
two.
say? You're overthinking it. I got a crock pot down there. I got a set of rollers right here. I got a bunch of old bottle cages that are broken. One broken pedal up there, a TPU tube, a regular tube. I got a bag of cyclocross studs right there, an empty bottle of sealant, some computer mounts.
Pretty much looks
Uh,
like every other cyclist's
I
Yep.
got a box of rags here, a
shit
binder full
pile.
of old triathlon workouts. I got an old Keurig toolbox, sweaty, disgusting clothes that I was on the trainer in.
Nice.
Yeah. What
You
else
you want to tell anybody what's on the other side of so we record here in this little thing, and then there's a TV that we're staring at, which shows you guys. You want to tell anybody what's on the other side of that TV?
From like
on
if I
my
was
end.
sitting.
Yeah, if you're.
Oh, how much time do we have?
Yeah. What's one thing? Name one thing.
One thing on the underside of the TV?
Yeah.
From your vantage point?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the warehouse, in your warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shaving cream?
Well, yeah. But I mean, up here in this little landing.
How about
I haven't been there in a while.
It's the
Completely changed it.
nothing has changed. The tandem, the Burley tandem that's been here since we moved here, is there.
Oh yeah. There's a tandem. There's another track bike you got up there. There's some pretty cool photos you got sitting there. You got I don't know. There's some other
the old bicycle garage signs, the pre-carry touring stand. I got some weird stuff. Anyway, but I wanted to point out our background. We did start to change our background. I've started to move some jerseys around. I've got state championship jerseys put together. I got some national championship ones put together. I finally put our CCC Team of the Year award up here, where everybody signed it.
Nice.
I got to move some other stuff around. I got to create a little homage to Miss Laura Van Gilder, and throw a couple of those skin suits that I wore up there, and we should be good to go. Anyway,
I'll give you guys a tour real quick. Check this out. Oh, I don't know if I could do it. It's not working now.
All we're seeing is your thumb.
No, never mind. It's not working because I'm not in photo mode.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna flip it around and give you a tour, but
next time.
Next time. Deal with this for now.
All right, Patrick, why don't you give us some background about your filming location, if you don't mind?
Oh man, I was feeling so left out. Let's see.
I like that. You got a nice light. You got a nice lighting system right there. I like that.
Is that an IKEA light? Or?
Where did you get
third place? Gravel Worlds.
Nice.
40 to What else? I keep this on my desk. Rockford half Ironman, third place, men's 40 to 44. I won the bike split. 2025 Ironman, half Ironman World Championship. I don't think there's anything else in here.
Don't make me get my Ironman shit out. I can't lift my tub.
It's the dog room, so I could lift some dogs up, which answers my yard.
Why are they not on the podcast?
Oh man, they're pretty awesome. Yeah, my backyard's a mess. The front yard's pretty good though.
I just want to go on record as saying, I do actually talk to triathletes. I want to squash that rumor.
It's 3-1 if you want to break it down right now.
Yeah, basically, I'm the only one that's never done a triathlon.
So here's the question: do you pick up dog poop in the winter, or do you wait until it starts thawing in the spring?
That's really the question you went with?
Yeah. No, that was part of the agenda you emailed over. We walk and run a ton, so I feel like I get most of it just picking it up on our exercise sessions. But yeah, the winter we usually. I
feel like there's dog owners that probably just in the winter let it freeze.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's what we did growing up.
Yeah.
No way.
Back in the 70s and 80s, and granted, we also didn't care if they pooped in a neighbor's yard, but we would let it sit out there all winter, and then in the spring we clean it all up.
Yeah,
there's the big cleanup in the spring.
Until it thaws on a nice spring thaw, and you run it over with a mower, and then you wear it.
That's assuming I mow my lawn,
It's true.
So I thought we already covered that. Coming full circle. But anyway, Patrick, you came on here. You reached out. You wanted to jump on the podcast. And, of course, we love having you. We always love having guests. And people, by the way, if you have an idea, you can always send it in to us at roadisdead, all one word, roadisdead@gmail.com. That's the plug for that. But anyway, Patrick, go ahead. Take it away. What do you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, a little bit of everything. I mean, I've been listening for several years. I went back in the podcast player to see the last unlistened to episode, and it was alarmingly far back. So it's just been a joy getting to listen to you and other guests for years. One of my favorites. Always fun to listen in. So thanks for the invite. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
did want to plug some tennis racket string,
Let's
but
hear it. Fire it off.
oh gosh, I think that comes from Ragbri. You know, you're out there all day long, and we'd come up with fake commercials for each other as entertainment. And
Nice.
I think there was just something. Occasionally, Rob does the cheesy radio voice in here. You know, welcome to the Road is Dead podcast, all the way from Cymet Studios, and there's just something that awakens in me when I hear that.
I've been known to do it.
He's been
Oh my
pretty good at it.
gosh.
I
Yeah.
can always with that one. I don't know if I ever mentioned there was a back in the 90s. I actually bought a microphone that I could put into my Sound Blaster, Creative Sound Blaster sound card on my 486 SX33 computer, so that I could record audition tapes to send to radio stations to try to be a guest DJ or to try to get any DJ work. Never worked, but you know, I worked on that voice a bit. I had some fun with it. I used to do it all the time at Lowe's. We would close down at Lowe's, and I would make the closing announcement. And I could probably do it if I swing into it, but I'll maybe later. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Oh man, we'll have another podcast later just to do that. That would be amazing. So yeah, I'm from Rockford. I've been part of the Northern Illinois, Southern Wisconsin cycling scene a bit. Came from that triathlon background too. I was thinking earlier, like I went to Jingle Cross about 10 years ago, and I didn't know any better. It's my first big race, and I showed up in a triathlon suit costume, singlet, but they don't have the sleeves. And I didn't know any better. And you've paid all this money to be there, and you get up to the line, and I know what you're going to say. You have to
I'm
race
not
with
saying
sleeves.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some kind person just handed me the literal shirt off their back so I could race, trying to repin that to whatever that T-shirt was. So yeah, I mean, I think if we're coming up with our classic triathlete stories, that's
So
kind of there.
you showed up at Jingle knowing, not even having read a rule book for anything, because it's in every rule book
that you need sleeves.
Yeah. I mean, it may have been
is.
buried in there somewhere in a different section or anything, but that's awesome that you actually drove all the way out to Iowa.
Yeah. Well, I used to live out there, so it was a little bit easier. But
Certainly.
so yeah, I've kind of been the head of I don't know, just about everything cycling, multi-sport related out in the Rockford area for a while. And a little background. I mean, I mentioned the triathlon thing, but that 2014, 15, when big resurgence in cyclocross, gravel was starting to be a thing. We were so cool out there on our 28s, or burnt up cyclocross tires. And I did a bit of the Wisconsin series because back then, if you were brand new, you show up, pre-lap it a bit, and then they had I don't know if it was like fives, and then if you got your 4 upgrade, you could do a 4 or 5 right after that, and you're back home by 11 o'clock. So, not too different from the Masters in the Morning single speed duo in Chicago. Be home at a reasonable time. So my first ever Chicago Series race was your cyclocross race, and I think it was
nice.
2014, 2015. I didn't know any better. You go to these Wisconsin races with 13 people, you can fall 8 times and still get back up to the podium. So to show up and in Woodstock and line up behind 120 people in the 4-5s race, I mean, holy cow, was that intimidating. And I don't think there's ever been a event I was that amped and scared out of my mind and just go, bleeding out your ears, pedaling. and getting around people, but 25 minutes with hundreds, you don't know where you are whatsoever. But I remember being pretty happy with that, and just never having raced around that many people. And lo and behold, I got fourth. Never finished any better than that. I
Nice.
mean, years later, finally went up to the threes a few years later, and just had a blast, watching, guys like Tim ripping around. And I mean, there were some really impressive ladies racing back then too. It's just so fun to stick around and watch and be in awe of everybody else. But there was, I mean, a pretty steady group of Rockford area guys who were into this. Like there was the old MSN coaching group from out here, Jared Kirchhoff, the Flugels,
Yep.
Sean LaPlante. And Sean, he had a bit of land. I don't know if it's his father-in-law's or what, but they let us build a cyclocross course. So we have like creek crossings and hills, and we're just out there. And it was like Wednesday nights became our cyclocross practice. And strangely enough, you remember Meredith Miller? She's from the area.
No idea.
Isn't there a skin suit anymore?
Hold on. So you keep talking.
Oh, they have no problem with that. But her brother, like we knew him, and we've known him a while, and he just totally leaves out the fact his sister is a professional cyclist, competes at the international level. And there was like the night before Thanksgiving or something, but we, had to practice because we were very serious Cat 4s. Well, those guys were like
As you
twos.
should be.
As you should be, Cat forever. And oh, nice. For those of you not on the video feed, we have the beautiful pink jersey. Yeah, the Giant Berries.
The skin suit for the every year when she was on Giant Berry team, she would do a fundraiser during the month of August, I want to say, maybe September, for breast cancer research. And so she had a pink kit that she would always wear. She had a pink skin suit that she always did. And I've got some cool, actually, maybe I'll make the photo of Meredith and me at Louisville Worlds and make that the screen. Leah's smiling because she also knows some other stories. But at one point, her dad was pretty ill in Rockford. And she mentioned it somewhere. And I was like, hey, if you just need to, because she was coming through O'Hare, I think, and I was like, if you need to stop and just decompress during all this stuff, and just want to hang out with bike people, let me know. Intelligently, she avoided us like the plague. So probably a good call on her part.
Good strategy, yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even know who she was. I don't know anything about racing. I was a little scared to be on this episode and have you start talking about pro racing because I don't know the difference between Vander Vlugel and Vander Beek. Like, so.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Okay. Which one? I don't know.
Vander Beek.
Okay.
Dawson's Creek. Are you too young for Dawson's Creek?
So, yeah, we're just hanging out, and all of a sudden, here's professional level, lady on the Focus mares and her husband. I don't remember if they're married at the time, but Yos.
Yeah, just yeah.
Just like, okay. Cool. Happy Thanksgiving. We're just going to go cry in the corner because this is insane to watch them just dancing on the pedals out in the mud in late November. Just awesome. But anyhow, we had this friend with all these steaks, and we're like, you know what, Chicago, it's okay, but we should do something out here. And it just kind of started as a joke with some friends, like, hey, we could get some supplies and try this out. Let's host our own race. And we knew somebody on the board at the local park district. And I think it's still true, but Rockford, largest park district in the U.S. It's just insane. Yeah, as far as assets and land and whatnot. And so like, okay, well, here's what you need to do. Get your insurance. Here's, the permit fee. And we're like, I think we could do that. And it's just nobody told us no. So about 2015, we said we're hosting a cyclocross race. Somebody made us a logo. I think wasn't USAC, Bob over at I don't know why I'm blanking, but the TT
Bob Lundgren.
Bob Lundberg.
Yes, Lundberg. Yes, thank you very much. So, I mean, we did it. A bunch of people came, but we were asking everybody we knew for stuff, and somehow one person owned most of the McDonald's in the Rockford area, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to get you some food. What do you think of McGriddles?" And we're like, "Any free food's wonderful." So he was going to bring out like a couple hundred McGriddles late morning or lunch or something like that, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." Well, not being the most detail-oriented people, we've got the cyclocross race going, we're having a ton of fun, and somebody shows up with hundreds of refrigerated McGriddles. Like, they all need to be cooked. So what do a bunch of idiot cyclists do with a bunch of very throwable food and nothing else to do with it?
Handoffs.
It was more of a snowball fight with McGriddles.
That'll work.
So if we don't use the Meredith Miller picture, maybe I can find pictures of middle-aged white guys getting pelted with McGriddles. I mean, we had to clean them all up afterwards, but just everything was great. We had a solid amount of people, and it's just like, well, let's keep doing this. Like, the course is cool. I mean, real unique thing about Rockford is we have all of these super cool parks and a park district that is so on board with people using them. It breaks my heart to hear about the difficulty of organizing races in other areas where the park districts don't want to work with them, or they're mad there's lines in the grass for a week after. And it's just like, we have such a strong relationship with the park district after 10 years. They're excited when we come, and yeah, it's been an incredible blessing. So a few years later, we started a group called Rock River Multisport to kind of make things more official, do insurance. Then we started doing duathlons and time trials. So that one that's out in Cherry Valley, it existed well before Rock River Multisport, but kind of got sucked up into that. And so Rick has led that, and he's part of the group. Duathlon, triathlons.
Is that time trial? Is that what sanctioning is that under? Or is it under sanctioning?
Yeah, that's sanctioned through Bob's group, but I don't know why the heck
ABR.
ABR. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep, that's been an ABR event for a while. So that's end of April and then end of August as well. We do a couple duathlons, so we've got like a road-based one, and with your and Tim's talk earlier, it's like, well, I mean, you guys are going to be in that, and coming up in July, you've got to. And then
Rob's got more of a shot of being in that than I do.
Well, we've got an off-road one too. That's Trail Mix in October. That's a blast. And then I'm the local race director for the New Wars race that's down in Illinois as well, and I'm guessing is most likely going to be the state championship in Illinois again this year, as there's
mountain bike.
No other USAC mountain bike races, so don't think we need to cross our fingers to get that one. Yeah. Oh, that was a treat last year. Yeah, so the plan is Wisconsin State Championship is in Lake Geneva Saturday, and then there'll be like a little party Saturday night at Atwood. They did one last year, and the local Visitors Bureau, another group that's been incredibly kind to us, they bought a couple kegs and something like 80 pizzas, and had them all just dropped off and said, "Have fun." So we were watching short track racing, and it was just, there was your dinner. Don't go too crazy because some of you have to race tomorrow. But same plan this year. Then the Illinois State Championship will be Sunday. But
back to back. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try it. We had a ton of fun last year, but I think it was just rough timing because Grit was going on, just a little east of here. The Mountain Bike Nationals, I think, was East Coast that same week.
Virginia,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Ragbri really took too many people from the competitive XC circuit. And then, unfortunately, there was another endurance event in Rockford that exact same day that had been scheduled for a long time. But, when Trek says, "Hey, we're doing a race here," you just kind of say yes, not "Can we move the date?" because there's only one date they throw you. So it's just gotten to the point. I mean, we're part of about a dozen events per year. We were really tied into that the half Ironman that was there last June and is back this June. And then we do a bit of timing as well. So like I have my own Lynx camera system now, and we've gotten to be a part of so much because nobody ever tells us no.
Yeah, that's, I mean, quite honestly, I think it's great that you discovered that. I don't think enough people realize that a lot of times, I think getting in and putting on events seems very daunting to a lot of people because they just don't know where to start. And the reality is you just kind of go at it. And odds are you're going to find a lot of situations where things just happen and people will yell at you later.
Yeah, extremely well said.
That's that's a hell of an investment on the Lynx system. We don't have to go into details on it, but
it's not mine. Cheap. There's a local engineer who had a timing company and got to the point he was doing 100 events per year. He had all the track, the cross country, that huge regatta that's in Rockford, first weekend of October. So they stop here on the way before nationals. I mean, he's the lead for that. He does the serious timing, and then I rent his equipment and or cover for him occasionally. But he's slowed down a little bit. But gosh, kind of some neat stuff to learn.
That's interesting. I actually many moons ago I saw that as a business opportunity to get into. When I went to my first Interbike, I was going around. I was looking at timing companies, chip timing companies, and worked out some deals with a few of them. We were thinking about just ponying up and buying a chip timing system. And I figured I would do it if I could get the CCC to do chip timing, and was pretty specifically told absolutely not in any way, shape, or form, and that we're going with the camera system. But I always thought about going back and getting into that timing company kind of thing, because it would be cool to set up a company and do multiple events, and a lot of running stuff for the most part. But geez, this isn't a running podcast. I don't know why we're talking about running.
No, it should be. I thought I had a small chance of being the best runner here, and then I caught up on Tim's Instagram, and so maybe we'll talk swimming next time. I might have a shot there.
You mean I didn't have a shot? I don't understand.
I said best runner, not best looking runner. You just misheard me. So
no, she doesn't run anymore.
Okay. Fair. Yeah. I don't know. The Rockford scene for cycling is so neat. I don't think I remember seeing any come out to Frostbite from this group, but like the start of Frostbite, I can ride to from my house. It's 16 miles.
Yeah. Frostbite 40 with Stu and all them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I was planning on doing it, and then it got too cold this year. I was going
chilly
to
at the start. Yeah. And then
we ended up riding fat bikes that day and got really muddy.
Yeah. Was that at Paul Douglas?
Yeah. Had to jump off before anybody comes at me. It's one of those, freeze thaw, and you're right on the edge of it. And it had been warm for the few days we're rolling up to it, and then drop below freezing for 2 days before we actually went out there. But we hit it right at the right time, and we hit a section that was out in the sun. And in the span of a couple feet, we went from a rock hard trail to it being full thaw, freeze thaw, and it stuck to absolutely everything on both of our bikes almost instantly. And within probably 100 feet, we were like, okay, we got to get off the trail. And the bikes are still covered in mud to this day. I feel bad. So no one at me for going out and kind of digging a path into the trail, but it happens from time to time. Sorry. But Frostbite 40. I did. I just don't at me.
Yourself.
No. Yeah,
I feel bad about it at least.
Figuring out conditions, because I live really close to Rock Cut. I mean, huge state park. I can 3.5 miles from my house, ride there.
Nice. There's
a group of guys that meets nearby, rides every Thursday night. It's just, again, super cool community. But we've gotten really good at being like, okay, if it's 36 now, it's cooling off this much. If the sun's down, this will be totally firm by 5:45. So it's I get it. You take what you can get in the winter.
Yeah. You get out there and ride when you can. Rock Cut's awesome. I've gone hiking out there before.
Yeah,
it's a really nice place.
during the Super Bowl, and I mean, didn't see a single person. One of my dogs came with and slept all of the next day. So
Nice.
yeah, I keep hoping to find a house right outside it, but it turns out those cost money. So
But
I've heard.
but yeah, maybe someday. So
Hey,
I think
if you get
I'm
in the bike industry, maybe you can make some money and buy yourself a house.
yeah, I keep thinking about it. So I think if I was going to plug anything, the cyclocross series I do is in the spring because I would much rather be racing than organizing. I don't know if I can get any other amens on that one. You will never be as exhausted or get more steps in as you will organizing a race versus racing in one. I've gotten to set up with you guys once and tear down. I mean, I see how much you work, and I feel like I understand that struggle as well. But we've got the first one coming up March 29th, so that is Sunday in just a few weeks. Super unique venue because it is the hilliest course within probably a couple hours of here. Like the Hill Bill, which I don't think exists anymore, is the only one that can compare. But our climbing is nowhere as dumb because it's
Dude,
it wasn't.
that race was hard.
Yeah, it's the park is a former zip line course, and it's now a snow park. So the only real operations are roughly, December till about now. But they've got snow machines. They build some stuff for snowboards too, but they don't care if you tear up the grass. So, we can go there and I mean, there's buildings to rent. Like we could set up a bar and all sorts of stuff, which we did years ago. I just lost a lot of money on. It's just a super neat venue. We can get 100 feet of climbing in a mile, but a few years ago, they built kind of some flow trails in there. So this was part of like this decade-long plan for building more silent sports trails in the area. So, we're like cyclocross course, you get thinned out and then you're hitting, like a bermed downhill. So not quite like in Joliet, but, pretty interesting downhills. But then there's some old cart paths for, the old golf course to get back up in. So we've got a heck of a sprint finish coming up like a 3-wide paved cart path. And I don't know if any of you saw pictures last year, but they made a giant snow pile with the snow machines for months because the plan is that they use heavy equipment to move that snow where it's needed. Well, they just never used it. So it was the end of March, it's 60 degrees, and there's a pile of snow 100 feet tall.
Jeez.
So yeah, I'm sure many could say that's not cyclocross because it's in the spring and goofy and on snow, but you know what? It's whatever you make it. And
Exactly.
And
So
then
where does everybody go to register or find more information?
So you go to Mcintyre tennis racket string, you plug in Road is Dead for 15% off.
Bingo.
Yeah. Over on Bike Reg, if you search Return to the Hills, you're going to find it pretty quickly, or any searching of cyclocross in the spring, pretty sure I'm it. Then 3 weeks later, on the 19th of April, we go to Atwood, and that's pretty neat. It's a lot flatter. We get to use about half the bike course. So that Founders Loop right next to the parking lot, we run into that a little bit. Like an easy mountain bike trail on cyclocross tires is just perfect. There's a pretty cool run up in there. Noodle around in the grass, but it's been a pretty fast, pretty popular one. So definitely on the end of the spectrum, other end of the spectrum from that Return to the Hills race. Super cool single speed venue, and bring your mountain bike and go ride the trails too, or do that. Yeah, it's been a pretty good one for us. We did a 3-race series for years. Just I don't have time. That's really the whole issue. And I definitely know the 19th is the day after Barry, but I mean, I have 3 open weekends in 2 months, so you get what you get, people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always planning anything. You're always up against something this time of year, from a couple weeks on. As we were trying to set up our in-state spring road training camp, and it's like, well, do you want to be gone Mother's Day weekend, or do you want to be gone during Monsters, or do you want to be gone during it's like It doesn't work.
Yeah, our third race was we'd move it to Saturday of Mother's Day weekend, and even then, that just wasn't going well. We lost quite a bit of money because you can't put on a race with 35 people showing up.
Yeah. Oh, I know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
me too,
I
but
cut mine when I get to 100. I think once I
yeah.
hit 100, I'm like, all right.
And I don't hit 100. It's gotten to the point we just accept these races lose money, and that's fine. We have all the equipment. They're fun, and I kind of like them small because I can be the timer, I can be the announcer,
Yeah.
I can be the DJ all at once. Sometimes I'm occasionally also registration, but when they're small and manageable, just about everybody's name. You can call them out on the microphone. It's pretty cool. So. There is perks to that, but I've joked on social media before, like we should really be thanking the runners and the triathletes for subsidizing cycling because that's what pays for it. I mean, the insurance is just out of control every year.
Yeah.
Roller tape's not cheap. At least the park district's really good to us.
Yeah, I people have heard me talk. I can confirm almost all of that. I totally agree. The insurance is a big, huge thing at this point. It's really interesting now because not to digress, but the with some of the changes that have been going on, a lot of organizations are looking at alternative sanctioning options, and I got to tell you, it's very difficult to even remotely consider. And a lot of these other sanctioning bodies really don't have the insurance coverage to really get things done, which is, a scary prospect.
Yeah, we tried ABR once. That was okay. And then just covered everybody's daily. I mean, I have no complaints about USAC. It just financially is not viable for such a small event.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
But it's expensive because of the insurance.
Yeah, and to have the appropriate amount of insurance through, a different group, yeah, that's so much of our cost. It's just, but you have to do it. I mean, the site, like the park district knows better. I mean, we know better as an organization how much we need. So it's just a big freaking check to write every year. But I mean, we haven't raised our prices once in 5 years. We just lose a little bit more money every year. But I'm going to raise it $5 the week of. I've really liked what you've said in the past about kind of a tiered. So, if everybody waits till the last week anyways, maybe this will encourage them to do that a little bit or help make up some of the difference.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. And if it's a couple more people that register a little bit earlier because of that, I think it's a win for everybody.
Yeah, and I've got one planned for October as well, that weekend of the Chicago Marathon. I mean, it's been made pretty darn clear that there is not a Chicago area race.
Yes,
Chicago
correct.
Marathon weekend. And if nobody else is going to do it, I mean, this Return to the Hills venue is insane. It's so great. And if there were some people looking to race that weekend, coming over to Rockford, this is just off of 90. There's restaurants and stuff all over the place. There's a bike wash right there.
I'd be all for
cool. And I know I announced this about the same time last year and then quietly canceled it. It is the only race I've canceled outside of COVID. And the reality is, I was in that half Ironman last year. I had no intention of qualifying for the World Championship, but it happened. And there was no way I wasn't going to take it. And I think others here recognize when you have an opportunity that big, I needed to clear the calendar a couple months before. Like if I'm going in, I'm going all in for this event. So I just, couldn't be organizing a bike race the month before because that was one of my key training weekends coming up to it. And I did. I went all in. So sorry about that, but I do not have enough money to go to Europe again this year. So we're set. It's going to happen.
Nice.
If you need to change that, you could always get into the bicycle industry and make, just buckets and buckets and buckets of money.
Yeah,
take care
yeah,
of.
I saw
All
those
right,
buckets
Debbie Downer.
earlier.
What?
No, the bicycle industry sucks.
It does. It does suck. And not to segue into it, but to segue into it. You guys hear me talk a lot about the industry and kind of what's going on, and not to do I would love to do an industry podcast, but every time I start talking about industry stuff, I see everybody's eyes just kind of, everyone's into their own little world, and
Well,
no
it's
one's as
like
interested about it as I am.
It's like whenever you ask someone a question and they start to go off their thing, you immediately pick up your phone. So it's no different.
Well, I will say in my defense, this time
Pew, pew, pew.
I had to look at my phone because there's some information I do have to cover, and I needed to find it again. But anyway, to talk a little bit about the industry, obviously we went through CABDA. We talked about that the last time, and everyone's attitude is a little bit different. There's been some major layoffs at a couple very large OEMs within the last few weeks, and one of the largest distributors in the U.S. has had a major layoff within the last week or two, and is probably closing down one of their warehouses. I got hit up within the last week, and a company that I have well represented, in my opinion, and done business with for more than probably 15 years, came in and basically did well, what have you done for me lately? And that was shocking. And they're willing to walk away just because of that. And that is nothing short of a fundraising effort. That's like cold calling and trying to get as much money out of everyone that you can with as many orders as you can. So everyone's heard that the industry is flush with inventory. At the same time, that inventory isn't necessarily getting cheap as a result, because people do need the money. So they're just staying on prices, and they're just reducing ways that you can acquire that inventory. They'll call it rationalizing accounts, but that's kind of how that comes through. That one was shocking to me. That was a major play. I flat out said that's a move to go consumer direct, and was told it was not. But I think we all know that that's kind of what the end game is for many of the large OEMs. Nothing is happening to that company. It's too big, and is way too many other industries for anything to happen to it. Outside of that one, what else is it going to hit? Oh, I got a cold call. From Bird, believe it or not, from the CEO at Bird. And
that's the fabric fiber spokes,
sure,
correct? Instead
yes.
of steel?
Yes. I don't know how. Would you describe it any differently? Yeah, it's the guys that have the call them rope spokes if you want, but it's much more complicated than that. But it is a fiber,
Okay.
a woven fiber.
Poly something.
Poly-Lite is what they're calling it. So it's a combination of whatever fibers and composite fibers that they're using to create the spoke. We built some. We've covered it on here, but we built some. Leah's got a set. Tim's got a set, and I've got a set that we've ridden for a few years. Much to the change of everybody else, I absolutely adore mine. I love riding them, and I will ride them at every opportunity at this point. But I like them because they are so disgustingly light, it's pathetic, and they really give a feel to the wheel in that regard. But they do make it softer. They make it feel softer. It absorbs a lot of road vibration, coupled with larger tires. To me, it's an all-day kind of wheel kind of thing. But I know I have busted one spoke, and I believe that comes down to what I did when building that particular wheel. I've learned my lessons. Tim has busted what, 1, 2?
I think it was just one. You
One.
replaced it with a
Same
spoke,
deal.
Yeah.
It was how I built them, because I built them all at the same time.
No, my chain jumped over,
Oh, okay. All right.
and that's how it broke out.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, my opinion's, like I said earlier, my opinion's a little different. I think it's a great product, but it doesn't serve well at higher speeds when aerodynamics comes into play. Because if you have any kind of side wind, you're gonna get blown over. At least that was my experience. Maybe yours is different, Rob. Yours, maybe Leah. I think we've kind of had the same thing, and maybe other users that are listening to this podcast haven't had that experience and absolutely love them. I think they would be phenomenal in a slower speed application such as mountain biking or cyclocross. I'd imagine they'd be great for it because
Yeah.
who doesn't like light rotational weight? And the lighter you can make a cyclocross bike if you have to carry it, phenomenal.
I still think they're a great application for gravel from, like what we were saying earlier, from the party pace people, like myself. If, I'm not going to go super slow, but I'm not going to go super fast. I'm not trying to contend for any podium or anything. I just want to set my own new personal record. God, I have become what I hate.
A party pacer?
Apparently. So yeah, in that regard, I think it's a great application for the technology, and I absolutely love riding gravel on it. And dude, did I cover this last time? But I ended up, yeah, I think I did. I ended up getting the gravel rider of the year for the team award.
You did.
And I realized I put all my miles last year on my gravel bike. I wrecked my road bike in that one race at the end of the season, and I couldn't ride it right now if I had to because it's still broken. I haven't fixed it because there's, what's the point? Anyway, yeah, I like. I think to your point, they are not an aerodynamic spoke, and for use in gravel, I know if I race rough road this year, I will. I have another set of wheels that I've been building that do have. Last year, I raced my Aero road wheels, and this year I would either race those or I've got a new wheel set that I'm building that I'm putting Aero spokes on, and I would race that instead.
Man, if we're stepping out of the industry corner of the podcast, I do have some tech questions. Is that all the industry updates?
I don't know. She just wrote time. Are you saying overall time? Or?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to hit an hour or if you want to go over.
No, we usually go an hour 10.
Okay.
Give the people what they want. We
Jesus.
only do this once every 14 days.
Right? We've been going every 2 weeks. If you guys have a problem with that, let us know.
I have a problem with that. Every week, please.
Well, as the season starts to kick off and there's more information to cover, I would love to do once a week again. But right now it's been kind of working out because there's enough time in between that there's, things to talk about, in my opinion. Then again, how many times have we...
Weeks.
Yeah, there you go. How many times have we sat down to do a podcast and had absolutely nothing to talk about, and then an hour and 10 minutes later we're like, well, I guess that's a podcast. So, I mean, the concept of this thing was people coming into a bike shop and sitting down and talking. And that's what the first, 15, 20 of them were. So it kind of is that way anymore, but whatever. Yeah. Mix between local and national, but I digress.
What did the bird dude tell you?
Hey, dude, it was a total cold call.
Yeah.
It was I don't want to say weirdest. It was very unique. In that here you have a company, Bird. A lot of people would consider that Bird is doing fairly well. They came out with their Trudy truing system. It's an automated truing system and stuff. They've been selling that to wheel builders and wheel companies. They have their spoke systems. They have a really interesting approach, and I think they're trying to be innovative in that space, in the wheels space, which is great. I always saw myself as wanting to do that, but to be honest with you, I don't have the design chops. Or enough ideas to really have made that a reality. I'm more deal with what's been handed to me. But I bring it up, and I only mention it because, Andrew Head from Head Wheels has been doing the same thing. And, and reaching out and, really, this is like that other company I mentioned, which I'm not going to say the name of, but people are really, even large companies, mid-sized companies are they need the cash flow. Everyone in this industry does. It is really, really, really bad for everyone at this point. So they're reaching out, trying to see how they can fit into the business, see if they can, he asked a lot of questions about what we did and kind of looking for ways to fit them into us, and looking for business opportunities there, which is how business is done. It's there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just very unique, in my opinion. In 16 years of doing this, this kind of stuff doesn't happen. To see it start happening a lot, to me, is a clear indication that there's stuff going on in the industry that is different, at least. I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy, but it just doesn't lend itself to being maybe a positive thing. So
I would like to give kudos to Shimano for keeping 11 speed alive. So thank you.
they did do that. They
Tiagra
announced what
release,
Sora.
yeah.
So they're
Tiagra.
keeping Tiagra, whatever. It was interesting because they went with the Q system a few years back, and that the idea with the Q system is that was going to be a replacement for all drivetrains, and it was going to get rid of the Acera, out whatever the Alto or what I don't know. There's like Altus. There were like 5 or 6 little brands that they are little lines that they had that they eliminated with the Q system, and that was a 7, 8, or no 8, 9, 10, 11 system, and it's all interchangeable, and you can basically run any setup that you want within that environment. They are all different in terms of everything in the Q system has a direct pull ratio that only works within the Q system, and the cassettes have a different ramp set up, but the chains are 11-speed chains, and it was based on establishing and running with the 11-speed system. They did that to get rid of even the Sora and Tiagra and all that. Just they wanted the 3 high road end 105 Ultegra and Dura-Ace, and then they wanted Q system to basically occupy the rest of that space. And now they have apparently brought back. You're saying it's Tiagra that they brought back?
Yeah.
I didn't dive into it, and I know there's one particular Shimano individual that's probably listening to this that will reach out to me here
I'm
at
just
some
glad
point.
it's 11 speed. No more, no less. You just need 11. You don't need 14. You don't need 15. You just need 11. That's it.
You're really stuck on 11.
Dude, it's the best ratios out there.
I
don't
disagree.
Nobody, so don't listen to my opinion.
I don't disagree, but 12 isn't that much different. They just added one more cog.
I don't want my rear cassette to weigh more than my entire bike.
That is a distinct problem. I will say that I have quite a few 12-speed cassettes because I went 12-speed on gravel as well as cyclocross.
Yeah.
And as a result, I have a lot of wheel sets, and they're all running 12, and I have a lot of cassettes. Even at whatever you want to think we get as industry pricing, I can tell you that without a doubt, anything above a 105 level cassette, even at industry pricing, it's
expensive.
It's more than my bank account can handle.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. On top of that, apparently you only save about 15 grams. Yeah. And I can tell you, those cassettes are heavy as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was watching Leah Sanda, the women's version yesterday. Just happened over the weekend, and I was shocked that there was a couple girls on the Uno X team in the lead group, and they legit had the big boy mountain bike gear in the back, one by in the front, and the big boy mountain bike gear in the back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, does it come to that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't like it. I mean, and going the when you're going 1x12, basically you guys are going down to just an old school 12-speed, which we had with the 2x6 back when I started racing in the 80s. That's what we were running. So you guys are dumping ratios for, I don't know, no good. I'll say no good reason. A pile of people will say it's a great reason. So whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could sit here and, bitch and complain all the time, but I'm sitting here, doing nothing, and they're competing at an elite level. So do them. Do you?
I do.
I'm nobody.
Yeah. I didn't want to get too far away from the Patrick with organizing races without me going into this bit. I don't know how to cover all this. How do you think I should cover it? Just read everything he wrote, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, just read. Those are his words.
It's very, very long.
Well,
very
no,
long.
I think you can just sum it up.
Well, I can sum this up. Okay, so Tim Radcliffe, he's listening, reached out to me after the last episode because I was talking about Elmhurst. And we ended up talking about how they decide categories in the series, and I don't remember how we got to it, but we talked about the fact that it was a 1-2-3 instead of a 1-2 race. Yeah, and I had said that that he said, well, who cares if the threes are in it because they're going to get dropped anyway. He did not say that. It was actually me that said that during that conversation. And it struck me when I was listening back to the episode, which I do occasionally do. I was like, yeah, he didn't really say that. And I'll be damned if not within a day of that, he sent me a text like, dude, what are you doing? You threw me under the bus. That's not what I said at all. And that's not how I feel at all. He's gone back and forth, and there's a lot of information here. There's a lot typed out. To sum it up very succinctly, he wants to absolutely make sure that everyone in the world is intimately aware that they look at every little facet of establishing categories and establishing the race day, because they have a lot that they want to get done during the race day, and they want to embrace as many racers as possible and give them as many opportunities to race as possible, to try to give everyone an ideal experience. So the thoughts that go into creating the categories aren't, yeah, well, whatever, and who cares? They're going to get dropped anyway, which is what I said. It's not that simple at all. There's a lot of effort that's gone into it.
They bend over backwards to
A lot.
make sure that every single category has opportunities to have a great race, and preferably more than one opportunity.
Let me read one point here real quick, but if you're going to clarify the comments from last podcast, I'd like to reiterate that all racers matter in Elmhurst. I imagine that is true for almost any organizer, but for us, we work extremely hard on our schedule to make sure that we have multiple opportunities for each category to race. We have an equal balance of men and women races and strive for equal payouts as well. This year, navigating the new policy changes is, as a result, they're adding extra categories to try to address that. So I hope that athletes know that we are working hard to put on a good event worthy of their participation. Regarding those categories, we know that every race director and venue has their own constraints. I know we may not look like other venues, but that doesn't mean one schedule is better or worse than others. It's simply that the race director is doing the best that they can with the practical constraints that they face. For Elmhurst specifically, we have a great venue, but it is an expensive one. Public safety, city expenses have increased dramatically. The beer garden mansion that we have to rent is not inexpensive. And so we do the math. We realize we cannot successfully host the Elmhurst Cycling Classic at the scale of an office park or smaller crit. They have to put more towards the actual, investment of putting on the event. Given our baseline expenses, we have to try to be bigger, or the math simply doesn't work. So always the decisions are made about trying to provide a better product and get more inclusion and participation. There's more information here. Some of it's for me. Talk amongst yourselves.
As I said before, if you ain't got that string, you ain't got that swing. Road is dead for 15% off.
I love how much they've put into putting on such a quality event, and it is, and it always has been. I'm glad they brought it back.
Always has been.
Always has been. Yeah. So looking forward to it again this year, and I love the fact that they've created the Midwest Cup. I know cool. A lot of people close to me are excited about that. So I really think it's going to inject a little excitement into the road scene for this summer.
I'm going to try to summarize this and try to actually use his words here and there, but basically saying that, along the same lines of it really matters who they bring in and who they're recruiting to show up in the races. He says he's putting a lot of time and effort into recruiting elite race teams from around the country to try to be there for the event. So when you talk about the P123 fields, we discussed how that's very important to show part of the show later in the day at peak spectator time. And I really do hope that Category 3 racers will challenge themselves in that race. If certain teams show up in force, it might prove to be a challenging effort for some of them. But they've never had an issue with safety, you know. And he goes on to say they have a good number of athletes who want to get into a fast, fun event. Personally, when he was racing, he loved challenging himself with racers that are faster than him. And we've long said that that's how you get faster, is you race in faster races against faster people.
See, Rob, that's what I tried to tell you when you going from 4 to 3.
Anyway, I got better, he said. I got experience, and quite frankly, I realized that I'd upgraded to my level of incompetence when I got up to a Category 2. So thanks again for the time and consideration. We're just about 3 months out, and they're working hard to make it a great day. So, and then he's emailed me some more stuff along these lines, some backing information about some of the other stuff going on with the event. But, you know, I cannot, this has been, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since our last podcast, and we have been in communication many times. So I greatly, pull this one back. Tim had nothing to do with that, saying that, or that kind of thought process, and was honestly quite offended that the implication was there that that threes were kind of a flippant ad and weren't going to be a factor in the race anyway. So a lot of work did go into including them in the series and including them in that category for all of the races within the Midwest Cup, not just Elmhurst. So hopefully everybody recognizes all the effort that is put in. These decisions, maybe some people don't realize it, but even the smallest little decisions, tons of work, time, and effort go into that. And there's always a lot of questions that have to be answered about, each category, how long it is, where it is in the day, what this means overall, how you can be as fair as possible to as many racers as possible. And at the same time, sometimes not be fair by choosing to give time to other categories that just aren't very popular, well attended, and don't pay for themselves when you look at the financial side of it, because it's the right thing to do, or it's what's needed to help grow the event and or the sport. So a lot of things go into a lot of things. So my mea culpa, my apologies for throwing Tim under the bus there. That was not my intention, and I spoke incorrectly. It was myself who said it didn't matter because they would get dropped and blown out the back.
Aha.
The slow ones still will get dropped and blown out the back, but they should definitely go and try it. That's my opinion. Totally not supported by Tim. So anyway, I did want to make sure that I read that and got that on the record. Tim, you're shaking your head. No.
Oh, no. What I have to say is not important.
I highly disagree. What you have to say is extremely important and actually looked at as information from a lot of different people.
No.
Well, I mean, what do you think? It's if you're a Cat 3, would you avoid racing in the P123 field?
I never have, and I never would. But I'm not. This generation of Cat 3s. There's Cat 3s that do want to challenge themselves, and there's Cat 3s that are like, well, if there's a 3-4, I'm going to go in 3-4 because, hey, look, I won't get spit out the back, and I'll have a better chance of maybe getting on the podium or doing well.
Personally, I'd recommend that they do both races.
They won't do both races.
Some will.
If they do, unless they are, this is just my opinion, unless they are like at the front of the field in a 3-4, if there is a 3-4, I don't know what the classes are there, and they feel good at the end of that, then by all means, go challenge yourself, because it's going into a longer race, a harder race, and putting yourself in situations that you're uncomfortable with is the way to get better. Racing at the front or riding off in the front of a Cat 3-4, you're not getting any better than you currently are. But if you go and race around a lot of fast people in uncomfortable situations at a speed that's probably, 5+ miles an hour or more faster than yours, and, which there's constant action for the 60 to 90 minutes of the race, yeah, you're definitely going to get better. And by all means, you should go do that.
Yeah.
By all means. And then never go back to racing a 3-4 ever again. Especially if you make it through a field like that. Dude, I raced that race last year and it was fast.
That's right.
The whole race. The whole race was fast. I mean, attacks just left, right. There was never an easy moment.
Yeah.
And that's like if you're invested in being a road cyclist and that's what you want to be, to do that. Go do that. Go experience that. By all means. And if, don't put any expectations on it. Just go in it for the experience. Learn from it. Don't do anything stupid that risks your life or the people around you. Because that's where I think like a lot of inexperienced riders get themselves into troubles. They think they can, and then they find out real quick that they can't. Because the dude next to him is used to going 35 miles an hour and hip checking your handlebars, and it doesn't bother him. But you're going to freak out, hit the brakes, and then cause a gigantic crash. But you have to experience it.
I feel like he's personally attacking me.
No. This is from my experience too. I did that stuff, and it's hard. Like it's super hard to race up because you think you're at a certain level, which you are, but then you race levels that are much better than you, and it's an eye opener.
Yeah, there's always somebody faster.
And especially with the generation that is, in road cycling today through the whole pandemic and the whole boom of, indoor cycling and esports, and the kids that are coming out of that and that are strong as oxes may not have all the skills, but they have the horsepower. It's a mixed bag these days. But the front of those races are dictated by the dudes that know what they're doing and will dictate the race. It's up to you to understand it.
That brings up something interesting in my mind. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't find it interesting, but it's something I would like to cover in a future episode. But if anybody listening to this has some input on this particular topic, I would highly encourage you to reach out to us at roadisdead, all one word, roadisdead @gmail.com, and send us your experience or input or what have you. But this has come up in the last few weeks with more than one person. I know of a few people now that are using AI tools as their coaches. And I find that very interesting. And if you are doing that and have had success.
Cut out on me. What did you call it? Do you find it very what?
Interesting.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Wow. I think Tim's got some pretty strong opinions about it.
No, you cut out in my headphones. I didn't hear the word that you said to describe it.
I think it's very interesting. I don't know if you are currently doing it or have been thinking about doing it, been looking into it, whatever. Drop us a line and let us know what your experiences have been with it, how you feel about it, especially if you had quote unquote regular coaching before and are using AI coaching now.
Next week.
No, I know.
Honestly,
I agree.
I think it's great. Great. It's a great topic.
So, looking forward to that. Drop us a line if you want to be included. Also, we got to do the reach out. By all means, please.
Not the reach around.
I'm not saying anything along those lines.
You thought it. You thought it. I saw.
Hey, have we actually said a bad word? We haven't this entire thing, have we? No, I don't necessarily have to click the explicit button for this one.
It's usually me. I've been mindful of that, or at least trying to be.
Oh, I usually do it too. I'm actually not going to say it, but I'm still going to click the explicit because if I miss something and Apple catches it, you're screwed. But anyway, I just said screwed, so maybe that will do it.
Does that really?
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, okay.
I don't want to find out. I mean, when in doubt, mark it as explicit because let's face facts. 11-year-olds aren't clicking on this podcast to
PG-13.
Listen to it anyway.
And C-17.
So the go out and get yourself some buttonhole chamois cream, please. Like I said, everybody could use it. It is available also it's available at your local bike shop. If they don't have it, tell them to go grab it and hit us up and we can set them up and get them in case. Otherwise, go to many of your favorite online shopping places and buy it. You can theoretically get it through Enzo Cycling Products at enzocyclingproducts.com. I say theoretically because, I would rather ship the units to a local bike shop and have them service you, but you can go and buy it from our shop if you can't find it elsewhere. You don't have a local shop that's willing to stock it. You can also get it at Tread Savvy at treadsavvy.com. You can also get 11 Jackson coffee. I don't know if people knew that, but you can get our roasted coffee by the bag at treadsavvy.com as well too. So many places you can go. Also, we're always selling tires through Tread Savvy. Go out there. I think I'm going to do like a 1 or 2 week sale on some cross stuff to generate some cash and move some inventory. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And apart from that, anybody have any parting shots?
I was going to ask, any of you Instagram users are out there, please give Screw City CX a follow. It is the only place I bother to give any updates to. Just a reminder, no sanctioning, no cycling license needed. We do not report to cross results, whether for better or worse for you. Just a fun hangout time, and you're pretty much guaranteed a podium.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Patrick, for joining us. More than welcome just about any time, unless we're going to talk smack about you, but I don't see that happening.
I have my wife come for that.
There you
go. She is hilarious.
Did we ever air that episode? I don't know if you remember this one. My wife, Julie, and Barron's wife, Jen,
oh Jesus,
showed up and we recorded an entire episode. I don't think we ever put it out, but it was basically them complaining about us doing this stuff.
Really?
I don't think we aired it, and I think we didn't air it because they had been at a village function downtown and were very happy at the time. So I don't think it.
That's funny.
I don't think it aired. But I'm sure I still have it saved somewhere. So maybe I'll go back and listen to that, see if there's anything usable in it. Get a couple sound bites out of it for sure. But yeah, there has been a spouse episode before. So
that's funny. Nice.
I don't know. You think Scott would come on that?
No.
Yeah.
He wants nothing to do with this.
Nah, I don't blame him. He's a smart guy. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming out. Go ahead and like, share the podcast. Leave your comments. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. YouTube. YouTube's a good one to like us at. Like the episode and follow us if you would like. Subscribe. And then share it wherever you can. Always appreciated. But until the next time, enjoy the ride.